Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're really focusing on something specific, something that could, well, genuinely save your cat's life.
Yeah, we're looking at two poisons, phosphorus and zinc phosphide.
Exactly. Highly toxic and maybe worryingly pretty common in things like pest control products people might have around.
And this is one of those deep dives where the tiny details, they really matter a lot. Our sources are clear. Getting the toxin wrong or trying a home remedy, that can make things so much worse, catastrophically worse sometimes.
Right. So our goal today is simple. Arm you with the specifics. Where do you find these things? What do the symptoms look like? Because they're really different for each one.
And the emergency care, that's critical because the first steps you take are completely different depending on which poison it is.
And neither one has a specific antidote, which makes that initial response even more vital.
It really does.
Yeah.
Often the difference between, a good outcome and a tragedy is just that first bit of information you give the vet team when you rush in. Knowing the source, the symptoms, that guides everything immediately.
Okay, so let's start with phosphorus then. We know it's in rodenticides, rat poison, roach poison.
That's true, yes.
But what kind of jumped out from the research is where else it pops up. It's not just pest control.
No, it's kind of a hidden hazard in that sense.
Yeah.
The sources really stress this. Exposure can come from places you wouldn't even think of, like fireworks.
Fireworks, really?
Yeah, fireworks, emergency flares,
Yeah.
even old school friction matches. The match itself and the striking surface on the box.
Wow. So if you have a cat that likes to chew on random things.
Exactly. The risk is much wider than just, the poison under the sink.
And the symptoms, they start off pretty general, don't they? Vomiting, diarrhea,
Yeah,
standard stuff.
they do. But there is one initial sign with phosphorus that's it's unmistakable if you notice it.
Okay, what is it?
A cat that's ingested phosphorus might have this really strong, distinct garlic odor on its breath.
Garlic.
Garlic. It's a very specific chemical byproduct happening inside. If you smell that, it's a huge red flag for phosphorus. You need to clock that immediately.
That smell is critical then. Because, as the sources describe, the way this poisoning progresses is, well, it's tricky, deceptive.
Highly deceptive. It starts with those gut issues, the vomiting and diarrhea, right? But then the cat might seem to get better.
This is that symptom-free interval the sources talk about.
Yes, and it's maybe the most dangerous part. The cat stops vomiting, maybe seems a bit brighter, and you, the owner, might think, oh, thank goodness it's passed.
But it hasn't passed at all.
Not even close. That calm is just a mask. Internally, the poison is being absorbed. It's doing damage systemically.
How long can that false calm last? And what happens when it breaks?
It could be just a few hours, or it might even stretch to 2 or 3 days. But when the symptoms come back, they come back hard. Severe, nonstop vomiting again, really intense abdominal cramps, obvious pain, then convulsions, and finally, coma.
That symptom-free period is just tragically misleading then. It delays getting help right when the toxin is really digging in.
Precisely. It gives the poison time.
So, okay, let's say you suspect it. Maybe you found a chewed up matchbox, you smell that garlic. Time is critical. What should an owner do immediately before even getting to the vet? And maybe more importantly, what should they not do?
Right. If you think ingestion just happened, the main advice is try to induce vomiting quickly, under vet guidance over the phone, if that's possible. Get it out before it absorbs.
Okay.
BUT. And this is the absolute crucial warning. This is where common sense about poisons goes totally wrong for phosphorus.
This was the real aha moment for me in the research. It feels completely backwards compared to what you normally hear.
It is. You must not give the cat milk or cream or butter or even egg whites. People reach for those things instinctively, right? Thinking it'll coat the stomach, soothe it, dilute the poison.
Yeah, that's the standard advice usually. Why is that so wrong here?
Because of phosphorus' chemistry. It's what we call lipid soluble. It loves fat. It dissolves really easily in fats.
And milk, cream, egg yolks, they're full of fat.
Exactly. So when you give milk, you're essentially handing the phosphorus a perfect little taxi service.
Yeah.
The fat helps carry it right across the intestinal wall and into the bloodstream super fast.
Whoa. So instead of slowing it down, you're basically putting a turbocharger on the poison absorption.
You got it. You're making it much more available to the system much faster. It's a complete no-no, a contraindication.
So no milk, no eggs. What can you give?
Really, just water,
Yeah.
and only if the cat can keep it down without making things worse. The main thing is get to the vet now, because treatment is aggressive supportive care at the clinic, trying to manage symptoms, minimize absorption, but again, no magic antidote.
Okay, that's phosphorus. Clear danger, sneaky progression, and a really critical do not do with the milk and fats. Now let's switch gears to the second one, zinc phosphide.
Right, also found in pest control. Rat poisons mainly, sometimes grain fumigants. But the way it works and the treatment, totally different ballgame.
And the exposure route can be different too, right? More insidious.
Yes, exactly. While a cat can eat the bait directly, just like with phosphorus, zinc phosphide is really notorious for secondary poisoning.
Secondary, meaning the cat eats something else that ate the poison.
Precisely. like the cat hunts and eats a mouse, or maybe a bird that had already ingested the zinc phosphide bait.
Oh, wow. That makes it way harder to figure out, doesn't it? The owner might have no idea there was even bait involved.
It complicates things hugely.
Yeah.
Because maybe the cat never went near where the bait was laid out, but it caught prey that did. So you have to consider poisoning even if direct access seems impossible.
Okay. And the symptoms point to a different target in the body compared to phosphorus.
They really do. Zinc phosphide hits the central nervous system, the CNS, and the respiratory system hard. You'll see things like obvious depression, maybe muscle tremors, labored, difficult breathing is a big one, general weakness leading to convulsions.
Is vomiting involved?
Vomiting is common, yes, but often the sources mentioned it contains blood. That's another potential clue differentiating it from phosphorus. And the potential for death is high, and it can happen fast if you don't act.
So, same problem again. No specific antidote. But the treatment at the clinic is very specific, isn't it? Not just supportive care.
Absolutely. This is key. If zinc phosphide poisoning is suspected, immediate veterinary action is required. The cat must get a stomach lavage at the clinic. It's a direct chemical intervention.
The stomach lavage, like
Yeah.
pumping the stomach. But you said it's specific.
It is. It's not just washing it out with water or saline. It's about what they wash it out with and why.
Okay, explain that. Why isn't a standard flush good enough? What's the chemistry here?
The big danger with zinc phosphide is what happens when it mixes with stomach acid. You know, the stomach is highly acidic. When phosphide compounds hit that acid,
Yeah,
they react with the water in the stomach contents. It's called hydrolysis, and they release phosphine gas.
phosphine gas. That sounds bad.
It's incredibly bad. It's lethal. Phosphine gas gets absorbed super quickly through the stomach lining right into the bloodstream, and it causes severe damage everywhere: liver, kidneys, central nervous system. So the absolute first goal for the vet is to stop that gas from forming.
Right. Okay. And how do they stop the gas?
With a specific solution for the lavage, they have to wash the stomach out with a 5% sodium bicarbonate solution.
Sodium bicarbonate. Baking soda solution, basically.
Essentially, yes. Sodium bicarbonate is alkaline. It's a base. So flooding the stomach with it rapidly raises the pH. It makes the stomach environment much less acidic.
Got it. So less acid means.
Less acid means that chemical reaction, the hydrolysis that produces the deadly phosphine gas, is slowed way down, or maybe even stopped altogether.
Okay, so the bicarbonate lavage buys time by neutralizing the acid and stopping the internal gas production.
Exactly. It buys the critical time needed for all the other supportive treatments to work. If they can shut down that internal gas factory, the cat has a much better chance.
I also saw something interesting in the sources, a comparison. It said vets often treat the neurological symptoms similarly to how they treat strychnine poisoning. Why draw that parallel?
Yeah, that's an important clinical detail. Both strychnine and phosphine gas cause really severe, generalized neurological excitement. You see intense muscle rigidity, tremors, violent convulsions. The cat looks physically stiff, almost locked up, and extremely distressed.
So even though the poisons are different,
The end result, neurologically, looks similar and requires the same kind of aggressive treatment to control the seizures and muscle spasms to protect the brain and prevent breathing from stopping. It just highlights how severe the CNS effects of phosphine are.
okay, that makes sense. It frames the severity. Right, let's try and pull this all together for everyone listening. We've got two poisons, often found in similar products, rodenticides, but they act differently and need different immediate actions.
Totally different pathways. So phosphorus. Think fat soluble. Remember that weird garlic breath sign and that tricky symptom-free period where the cat looks better but isn't?
And the big don't. Absolutely no milk, no eggs, no fatty things, because that just helps the poison get absorbed faster.
Exactly. Treatment is mainly supportive care once you get to the clinic. Then you have zinc phosphide.
Zinc phosphide, danger comes from acid. Stomach acid turns it into lethal phosphine gas.
Right. And remember, the secondary poisoning risk the cat eating poison prey. Symptoms hit the nervous system and breathing hard and fast.
And the critical treatment is that specific stomach lavage at the vet's office.
With 5% sodium bicarbonate solution to raise the stomach pH and stop the gas formation. That specific action is potentially life-saving.
So I guess the final takeaway here, the real lesson for you listening.
It's that you don't need to be the vet, you don't need to be a chemist, but you need to be a really good witness for your cat. Information is key.
Right. Just saying, I think he ate rat poison is okay.
It's a start, yeah. But if you can walk in and say, I saw him chewing on old matches and his breath smells like garlic, that screams phosphorus. No milk, supportive care.
Or he might have caught a mouse near the garage where I put out those little gray zinc phosphide pellets.
Bingo. That tells the vet immediately. Zinc phosphide risk. Prepare the sodium bicarbonate lavage, STAT. You're helping them skip diagnostic steps and go straight to the specific targeted treatment needed.
That initial piece of information, knowing the potential source, can literally direct the life-saving protocol because the chemistry dictates the cure or at least the best immediate intervention.
Precisely. You bridge the gap between the poison and the specific solution.
That's our deep dive for today. Some really crucial details there. Stay safe, keep your pets safe, and stay curious.